Here is Rory McIlroy hitting a driver at the BMW PGA Championship at Wentworth Golf Club in England. Amongst his peers, Rory is known as being one of the longest and most consistent drivers of the golf ball. But there are a couple of things that I would like to point out that I think he could improve his driving even more. If we look here at his address position, you see I have the black line pointed towards his left heel. I think Rory has a tendency sometimes to have the ball positioned slightly too far back in his stance. As Rory starts his golf swing, we can see that there is a very straight line between his left arm and shaft, 178 degrees, close enough to being 180 and very, very straight. As Rory now starts his backswing, we can see that he is hinging his wrists. And when I get the club to this position, we can see the relationship between left arm and shaft has now moved down to 161 degrees. As Rory keeps going, the club head will disappear off the screen, and we will come to that later. When Rory's club comes now back onto the screen, we can see the relationship between left arm and shafts is now 142 degrees. So it's getting closer to that 90-degree angle. As he keeps going up, we get to this position again, and the shaft almost disappears off the screen, which is something we will talk about in much greater detail on the downswing. Now we can see the angle is 118 degrees. When Rory keeps going and the shaft appears here back on the screen, we can see now the relationship between left arm and shafts is now down to 83 degrees. So he has increased that hinge, and he is setting up his golf swing for a powerful downswing, which will have a lot of lag. I'm now going to delete these numbers. And as we see Rory come down here, you can see the driver never goes off the screen at the top because he is pulling down. If we look at his left leg motion, and I draw a line here and draw a line here, you can see now that his legs are starting to drive forwards, which is a big source of power in his golf swing. Here in this position, his left arm is here, the shaft is here, and there at the end is the club head. This club head was off the screen on the backswing, so he is pulled forward to enable him to increase his power. As he comes down to impact, we can see Rory striking the ball here. And the one thing that I don't like about his downswing, I think his head is a little bit too far back and tucked down. I would like to see his head just a little bit taller. And I think because his head is a little behind, this causes him to have the ball position just a little bit further back in his stance, as it fits a little bit better. But I think moving the ball up and keeping his head moving forward would enable him to drive the golf ball even better. If we look at his right hand crossover, here he's in a great position. He's released the golf club, and then when he's finished, the club is behind him, all his weight on his left leg. Very powerful, very good. I guess that's why he's world number one.